All right. Advanced Metal Industries, sliding glass door installation. That's what you get. Box and 2 panels, which are your 2 doors. Open the box. You've got your mullion, you've got your 2 bottom frames. And now come with top and side clips, same as your sliding glass windows. And your bag of goodies, which comes in with all your screws, which are for your corners. 3 of these already put in. This one here will go through. Tool of choice. And yes, you can use one of these. You just got to be careful when you get right to the end. These guys will snap. So once you get to the right to the edge, slow down. We'll go manual. So let's finish this one off. These are pretty self-explanatory. There's your closed in point, and that sits in there nicely, and all the rest will follow through. There's your screw holes. These will actually go through here, and they'll actually go into these little sockets there and there. So place them in, find his spot. And then carefully, don't take it all the way in, just hold back on it. This is where breaking point happens. So at this point, you don't want to go hell for leather, you just want to just take it in nice and easy. Once she's in, that's where you stop. That's it, done and dusted. We'll now take this frame and take it over to the opening that we've got. At this point, you want to measure your opening. Get your opening, take it over to whatever you're doing, and get your opening, cut your opening to suit, and then the frame will go straight in. Let's go there. Steel frame jams. Taking the measurements off the door to make sure our openings are correct. Once we've known that, steel frame goes in as per specs. Now we're ready to put the door in. Flat top wafers is all we use. Depending on where you're from, you'll have different specs of where to put them. Northern Territory, we'll do 50mm from the corners and 200 intervals all the way through. That is the standard window fixing. Same with the top, 50 from the corner, 200 intervals. Once she's locked in, you can cloud away. The door has a larger space in the back that goes in the back. There's a space in the front which is only 30mm. That allows for your sheeting. You'll also see the clip joints, which is where those 3 clips will go on. Top, side. Let's go and have a look at the windows. Right, we're back. Header's been placed in. Screws are all fixed in. Now we've got the 2 panels out. You've got 2 panels. One is the fixed panel, and the other one is the one with the 3 holes. Which you can see down the bottom, that's your handles. On this particular one, you've got 2 screws on each end. We'll take these out. And then going back to your box, we've got the mullion. Now this guy, you got to hold your tongue right. There's a little groove there, and this guy sits on the top plate. That is for those screws we just took off. So that little groove there will actually go on this fella. Might just simply slide in until you meet those holes again. Lock those in again, stainless steel, just got to be slow. Fixed panel, stamp on the bottom, that tells you the indication that that is the bottom. Slide top in, bottom in, simply push it in. That locks it in. You got 3 tracks. That's your internal track, which goes to your handle. Center is your fixed panel, and the outside one is for your screen door if you choose to get one. This guy goes in, make sure she's locked in. And our plugs. These guys is what locks this fella in. So you got little screw points, 2 holes bottom, 2 holes top. That guy simply locks in there, slides in there, lock him in. So 1/8 drill bit, lock him in. That's where your other 2 screws come from. Your longer ones will actually go for this guy. Same thing, place it in. If they do not go in, sometimes it's simply just trimming off that little edge and she'll slide in. Top and bottom tracks. You'll notice you have these little cutouts. That's to go into this track. So that actually goes in like this. There's a little groove just in here. That catches on this little edge. So as it goes in, again, these will need to be trimmed. That will go in. Once you've got it in, rubber mallet, tap that in. These are locked in, put the screws through. We've done a little bit of trimming on the top one. That guy's bashed in. This one here, pushed in, a little bit of pressure. Once you get one side, the rest will follow. Just like that, and that locks that in. Main door, again, you've got your sticker that indicates the bottom. Second indication, wheels are on the bottom. Wheels on the bottom. Mullion faces inside. Same thing again, go to the top, drop it in, and she's ready to go. Fixtures go in, lock those guys in. Wheel adjustments. Holes right down the bottom. So these guys will come as a setting. Screwdriver through there will actually bring the wheels up or down and get it off that track. Also square the door off. Alright. And that's our next one. Open. We'll come back to that. This is the adjustable key that you're going to start with. Now this guy will go in here and you've just got to chop it off where it suits. This guy will click into there. Lock set goes in. Using the flat screws. Nice and gentle. The second lock set, he goes in. Not that way, this way. Okay, now you're going to use these fellas here. These are also guides. They're eventually going to match into this fella here. Just going to swap him around. If he did, there's a little latch in there. They should be opposite hand. So that's got the mushroom on the top. He should be on the top of this guy. So if it's not sitting right, that's the reason. So that's sitting nicely. Yeah, and everything just nice and soft. Now you're going to play with that guy. So this little plastic piece will come off with a tiny bit of persuasion by the looks of it. So that's how it locks in. It actually just locks into this little point here. How you adjust this, these screws here will move this up and down. These screws on the sides will actually bring this plate out. So I can take that out. This one here in the background, we'll actually taper it. So now she's tapered, it's short in here, this one's sitting out a little bit better. This is where you just tinker. Or just get it right the first time. That goes back in, lock it up, keys in, slowly but surely. And we edit that part.
Hi, it's Wendy and Tim from AMIA. What is this? This is the fin patch that you'll receive with your sliding glass door, your barn window and your louvers, not with sliding windows, and it is part of your weatherproofing solution. Okay, Tim? So once your door is popped into position in your build, you're going to put a generous amount of silicone on the corner, as Tim's showing you here. Going to pop your fin patch into position. Once that's popped into position, you would then make sure your cladding is on first, or the next step is your cladding. So just smoothing that out, generous amount for the seal. And then Tim, oh yeah, the cladding goes there, fantastic. And then you're going to pop your trim bead flashing finish on. Hide the silicone, your fasteners. Lovely neat finish, all done, voila. Thank you, Tim.
It's all cladded. Started putting trims back on. This guy's on. Top one's on. Last one to go in. You'll notice right up the top, we've trimmed around the profile just so we can actually get that guy in. This one's going to go in straight into those clips. Rubber mallet. Make it look too easy. Now you just got to seal it. Seal the sides. Seal the top corners all the way down the bottom. And then she's all finished.